In this video, I'm going to walk you through the onboarding process for setting up the Google Cloud credentials. This bit is a little bit cumbersome. As long as you follow the instructions on the screen here, it's straightforward, it's free. So I'm going to walk you through this now. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you are on this part of the onboarding process. So you've entered your license and you are here. So I'm going to follow along with the same instructions you should have on screen, and you can just follow what I do, and you'll see this is actually pretty quick to set up. First thing, step one, create a Google Cloud project. So most applications work under a Google Cloud project that do things like access YouTube data, like Too Long Didn't View. But the limits for how many searches you can do through YouTube, accessing features like getting your channel, subscriptions, etc., are very, very low. So if you create your own application here, those limits will only apply to you, which gives you kind of the maximum usage you can get. So let's click through to this. This is going to load up Google Cloud. If you're not logged into Google, you should be prompted to do that first. I'm already logged in, so it's just taken me straight to Google Cloud. Suffice to say, enter your Google username, password, and you should see a screen somewhat like this. Yours may look a bit different because I've already got one project set up, which is this, but you should definitely see this menu option up top. For Open Project Picker, it might say Create Project. So you're going to want to click that. And this is what we're going to do to start with. So this is probably going to be the only difference you're seeing to what I've got here on screen. So we are going to click in here and you can see New Project. So project name doesn't really matter what you give this. I'm just going to call it Too Long Didn't View Demo. You can ignore location, click Create. Takes a second, and that project is created. That's step one. Let's move on to step two, add YouTube data access. So this is going to give this project access to access YouTube's data. So to do this, you're going to want to click in this search bar. Actually, one thing I've just noticed, I need to switch to the new project. So you can see there, I need to make sure I'm on the new project. If you haven't got any projects, that shouldn't be a problem for you. It should just default to the one you've just created. But yeah, make sure that's set. Then in here, all I need to do is search for YouTube data. Top one, click that. And then just click Enable. That's all you need to do for step two. Let's move on to step three while that's working. So now we're going to configure the Google Auth platform. This is what's going to allow Too Long Didn't View to authenticate. So it's going to be a similar thing with a couple more steps. Go up the top, search for Google Auth platform, click that. And hopefully you should see this Google Auth platform not configured yet. So you can click Get Started. And then there's a few bits to enter in here. App name doesn't really matter. You will see this later. I'll just call it TLDV demo. Email. So you're going to want to enter your email. Again, it's only you that's going to see this. So just use the same email you've used to sign into Google with. So I'm going to use our support email, tjnwg1@gmail.com, and go next. Audience. Very important you click external. Internal won't work. Next, contact information. These email addresses are for Google to notify you about any changes to your project. So again, just enter the email you signed in with. Should turn into a pill like that. Click Next, check the box, click Continue, click Create. And that should finish this. Sometimes I've noticed this error. So sometimes I've seen Google actually error. If that happens, just refresh the page and try and do that Get Started step again. But that's worked for me. So we can move on to step four. Add an app test user. your Google app is created in a development state. It will stay in this state since only you will be using it. So you need to add yourself as a test user to sign in. Assuming you've stayed under this Google Auth platform link here, you should see this audience link on the left here in the nav. If you've clicked away, you can just type audience up top, and that will take you back to this page here. And so under here, all you've got to do, scroll down, click add test users. And again, that same email you've been using. Save. And that step's done. Step 5, we are nearly done. OAuth client ID. So this is so Google Cloud is set up to use your project is set up to use OAuth, which is the authentication process that Too Long Didn't View uses. So for this one, you're going to go up top to the search bar again, type credentials, click that, and then up top, hit create credentials, and then pick this option, OAuth client ID. Under application type, pick web application. Name, again, doesn't matter. I'm just going to use the same name as the project. And ignore this one. Under authorized redirect URLs, you're going to want to add one here. And you can copy this off screen from Too Long Didn't View. Pop that in. Let's close this so it's out of the way and click create. And that is it. Now, this will pop up on screen. This is the important part. So this is going to show you two things. You've got a client ID and a client secret. So you want to treat these like passwords. Put these in LastPass, Bitwarden, Google Password Manager, whatever you use for passwords. Keep these safe. You're going to need to enter these in the app. But make sure you back these up first. Once I close this dialog, I won't be able to get the secret back, which would mean I'd need to start this whole thing all over again and create a new project. So I'm not going to back them up because I'm going to delete this as soon as I'm done with the demo. But if we move on to step 6, this is just going to talk through what's going to happen, because once I enter these up here, it's going to kick off the next part of the onboarding. So we're going to paste those in the top in a moment. Then I'm going to click continue. And what that's going to do is it's going to trigger authentication to Google. So this is probably getting a bit confusing, but what's now going to be happening is your new app that we've just set up over in Google Cloud app. We're going to log into that with your Google account to grant Too Long Didn't View permissions to view your YouTube data. So that's kind of why we've had to do all this. There's 3 screens that should appear. You're going to choose your Gmail account. That's got to be that test user that you added in step 4. And then there's going to be a warning. Google hasn't verified this app. That's because what we've just created over here is in test mode. We can ignore that. Then Google is going to say, hey, this app is trying to do stuff with your Google account. You'll see that when we get to it in a second, but that's just going to be accessing YouTube search playlists. So I'm going to go back up the top. I'm going to copy that client ID, paste that in there, go to the secret, paste that in there, and click continue. So now it's triggered this authentication process. So I am going to click that test user account that I set up the app with. There's that warning. Just click continue. And TLDV demo, you remember that's what I used to set this up, wants to access your Google account. When you allow access, TLDV demo will be able to view your YouTube account. So this is the permissions, which is what you added by giving YouTube data access. If you click learn more, it's showing you exactly what the permissions are. So all we're going to do is pull down your subscriptions, playlists, and use a couple of other search features through YouTube. It doesn't have any other access to your Google account. So click continue through that, and you should see this authorization successful. And then the last step here is back in the onboarding is to enter your OpenAPI key, which I'll cover in a separate video. Once that's pasted in and you hit complete, all this should work.